one of the scariest things that you can deal with
What that?
is when you find somebody new and you're having to compete against their past. Because I remember my grandma always told me, boy, you're going to meet women and women going to come into your life and they will always have somebody from their past that will always have access to them. One person. Just one. Not a whole bunch of dudes, not a whole bunch. No, I'm talking about, baby, listen to me. I don't care. I don't care what I don't care what she tell you. There will always be one person that will always have access to her no matter what she says to you. And another thing she said was every time you date somebody, you always have to remember you are really not the one she want to be with. The one she really want probably just wouldn't get his act together. And them two things, it stuck with me forever.
Welcome back, tribe. Let's see what society and women think about men today.
Do we need men? You need a man?
No.
Do we need men? No. Women need men in this world. Do we need men?
I don't know. No.
Why?
Probably. Because we can be strong, independent women.
There's this clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question. Do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives. Only one. So why do you think that is?
Because men are useless. I mean, love it. And by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men because I think I would die without gay men.
Do you see? What have I been telling you guys? Look, this is mainstream. This is on public. This is ABC saying this out loud. Can you imagine if this was the other way around? Can you imagine if we had a panel of men here, especially just mostly white men, and they say something like, women, what are they good for in the world? All they do is break stuff. Women, what's the best thing that's ever come out of a woman's mouth? My D. Imagine them just talking so much shit and saying how useless women are. They can't even cook today. They're not even clean. Femininity. Now you got to check if there's a dingling in between their legs. Dude, just imagine saying an entire group is useless. Half of the population is so asinine. And then splitting it apart and say, oh, okay, man, those are the only ones I couldn't live without. The straight men could just go somewhere. Who are you sleeping with then? Are you a lesbian? What is going on here? Are you not aiding in the destruction of civilization? Are you not setting everything we've built back? Are we not regressing with this way of thinking? You're all older, more distinguished women. I'm sure you're having struggles dating. I don't know how many of you are married. It doesn't sound like many. Why are you so bitter? Why are you so angry? Why do you get so many topics wrong? Why does everybody in the world dunk on you every time? How is The View still on television? And how many viewers actually watch this show of 6 harpies or how many ever there are spouting absolute nonsense? Just chickens clucking everywhere. Explain to me. How is this not an op? Is this not funded by the powers to be? These women have reach somewhere, somehow, because they're being floated? There's no way this show is financially viable. On ABC, no less. This is crazy to me. How else could you possibly explain how this show hasn't crumbled due to insolvency yet? Who's footing the bill, man? I wonder. Who owns ABC? I'm just wondering.
I have Handy Manny at home. He fixes everything. When things go bump in the night, he's the one that goes downstairs. When there's a bug to be exterminated, he does the extermination.
Nope.
When there is something to be fixed, he fixes it. He throws out the trash and he throws out the recyclable.
You know what's funny about this one? She was trying to go on some racist holier than thou, talking about slavery and how black people are oppressed and all that. And then and they did a DNA test on her. She comes from a family in Spain, prominent slave traders. And then her only response to that was like, oops, I mean, it is what it is. I guess so.
I enjoy all the man stuff.
So wait a second. I know what you're going to say. That's okay. She's really talking about a servant, let's face it.
No.
It's a handyman she's talking about.
It's a handy manny.
Oh, it's a handyman with benefits.
We do not have, I need my man.
Handyman with benefits. So she's basically trading her body for a dude that just fixes some things around the house here and there. Has absolutely no title on the relationship. It's just pumping and dumping for free. The guy could step out whenever he wants. She does not in her mind, she probably thinks she doesn't want a relationship, that she's a businesswoman, she's strong and independent, she's a public figure. Meanwhile, the guy's hitting it for free, probably has other side chicks, doesn't care about her, will leave at a moment's notice when she becomes a headache. If she ever tries to ask him, what are we? Hey, I'd like to move to the next step. Hey, I'm getting older. I kind of thought about I want to grow old with somebody. You know, this allure will wear off very quickly, especially when she's off this show. It's nice to live in this little bubble she is right here, on this little platform she has, where she's extremely visible, where the attention is overshadowing all the consequences that are headed her way. But that bubble will pop. And I wonder if she's going to join that new troop of women that's starting to sprout up now, that's like, oh my God, I made a mistake. I wish I didn't chase my career that much. Younger women, listen to me. You need to find a good man, stick with him, start a family. This career, these plaques on the walls, this attention doesn't mean anything when you're older. My cats don't bring me joy. They don't bring me happiness. I don't feel like I've done anything in life. I feel like a failure. I see my girlfriends and they have kids and their babies are smiling and they're so happy. I got Handy Manny at home. That's it. Oh, wait, he left because he found a chick younger than me. I started getting wrinkles. Ridiculous.
Man, 3 to 4 times a week. And good for you guys. Broadly speaking, I feel like men have proven largely useless. Like,
so that was a clip that was trending on Twitter. And then we had a clip here from same guy. It's titled, Liberal Women Blame Everyone Else Except for Themselves, even if they're the ones voting for getting punched in the face policies. So Tim was covering this one.
You don't get to make articles blaming men, blaming MAGA, crying about your own policies, and then saying, we will not shut up. I don't care if you talk or don't talk. I don't live there anymore, and y'all get to have exactly what you wanted. This is my point. Y'all can't come to me and say, Tim, how dare you say this about...
So the article is Men Punching Random Women in New York City, a desperate last gasp of the male rage fueling MAGA. So they blame this on MAGA, when it was actually mostly homeless people, mentally ill people, and the exact weak men that we always say would destabilize society and lead to issues like this. That traditional man, the man's man, the conservative man, the exact man that used to protect women, put his life on the line for women and children, would go out of his way to do good deeds in society, in public. And as we see in New York, actually multiple times, when a good man has stepped up to maybe save somebody on the train being assaulted or harassed in some manner, his face gets plastered all over the news. Because why did he choke the dude out too hard? Because why did he beat that guy up? Why did he pull out his gun and shoot this dude 5 times? You know, I wish I didn't have to resort. Like the women, some of the women that the men ended up saving, it's been a white man most of the time. Hate to say it, but it is what it is. Some of the women came back like, I wish she didn't shoot him and just like subdued him in some other way. Like guy probably has a knife or something. It's wild, dude. Society today does not reward you for being a good Samaritan. Society today doesn't reward you as a man for stepping in to protect somebody. All the things we were taught growing up and how to be men and what a man is, a protector, a provider, law and order, upholding tradition, that's all out the window now. You try to be a good man today in society, you get punished. But you go in a store, steal 10,000 things over and over again, the new woke DAs with their bail reform will let you out. You'll have thousands of records on your rap sheet. They'll just book you, process you, let you out. Rinse and repeat. Go to another store, grab some shit. That doesn't get punished. But the moment you choke a dude out in a train somewhere, in a subway station, you're plastered all over the news. Now you're going to go into a biased court and get judged by biased jurors. And that's your ass. Welcome to prison. What are you in here for? I choked a dude out that was trying to assault a woman. Wow. Okay.
Women, because this is the commentary you get in New York City. Next thing they're going to say is, you can't blame all of us for the words of one lady, Amanda Marcotte. This is the corporate press of New York City. I worked in it in more than one company. I know exactly what they're doing, what they're talking about, how they respond to this. I get it. Not all women, of course. But when you look at the demographics, 70% voting Democrat. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm not here to blame literally everybody for everything. It's generalities. But the overwhelming majority of people are getting exactly what they want, and they will not be told to shut up. Well, then don't shut up, lady. I don't care. But you're going to get punched in the face. I ain't going to be there to protect you. And Daniel Penny certainly will not either. And the more you do these policies, the more crackpot psychopath dudes are going to attack you. And the good guys will bow the F out. So be it. It's what you ask for.
And don't say we didn't warn you. This was a long time coming. We talked about these policies way back a few years ago that The more and more society punishes good men, the more and more society will empower weak men that do take advantage of people, weak men that get drunk on power, weak men that will use force, because even though they're weak men, they're still stronger than most women. So they will force their way into whatever they will. It happens. How many stories do you hear now about girl randomly jogging? Something happens. She's no longer with us. Who's the perpetrator? Exactly who you think they'd be. A weak man. Instead of raising boys in a society that teaches them what good men are, what masculinity means, how to be stoic, how to be brave, how to protect the weak, how to bear responsibility, how to leave society in a better place than you found it. Instead of teaching all these tenets of manhood, we teach them how to be weak. We teach them how to be emotional. We teach them how to cry. We teach them how to talk about their feelings. We teach them how to not compete against one another because that's too stressful. We teach them to spend their entire lives playing video games and watching porn and not making anything of themselves and patting them on the back for getting last place. Imagine your son getting a trophy for last place. How about a test that's open book and you can go get the answer right then and there with a cheat sheet in front of your face? Congratulations, you're so smart, kid. Instead of challenging our young boys, instead of molding them into strong men, we're creating the very thing that these women are voting for. We're creating the very thing that will destabilize society. Once they reach critical mass, once most men become these men, that's when shit will hit the fan. That's when you'll see this potentially reversing, or maybe not at all. The other side will never admit they're wrong, will never take accountability, will never be responsible for their voting choices. They'll just simply double down on the ideology because, hey, it's reaffirmed. The other side is getting weaker. Masculinity is disappearing. Toxic men are multiplying. Simps are multiplying. Any good, traditional, masculine man is disappearing from the West rapidly. That's emboldening the other side. I think this is only going to get worse for a good while. Once these men proliferate, the simps and the weak men, and that becomes the new standard of man, mark that as the end of Western civilization. Now, speaking about weak men and lack of accountability and living the life you're preaching and involved in drama that could have been easily avoided, we'll just watch this for a quick second because I don't care for this topic much, but everybody's been asking my opinion on it. This is, of course, the chick that's basically baby trap, one of the fresh and fit dudes.
If you call me an escort, prove it. Prove it.
Firstly, do you take PayPal?
No.
Cash only?
No. We touch transfer. You have cash?
I would prefer to pay half. For I spend half. It's never worked out well in that PayPal.
Why? I'm here. What are you worried about?
One time, I paid you for all my phones onto prison help. She said she came out 3 times and she couldn't do it.
So you're going to do it 10 times to leave?
I have been scammed.
Yeah, but from the girl, I need to be more secure. If you're not making excuse, that means you are not willing to pay. You can pay in half and I will stay here for
1 hour. Doesn't mean you're only going to stay for 1 hour.
Then I will stay here for a hour. Because for you, 1 hour is enough. You said 2-3 hours. I cannot stay for 2 hours.
Okay, cool story. So she definitely does that kind of work. Apparently, you can tell by her Instagram that she's traveled to a bunch of places, you know, taking suggestive photos, Dubai, all that stuff. There's video proof of her doing this stuff. My man's got trapped. And that's really what happened. He's a goofball, let's be honest. He doesn't really have experience with women. He basically pays for his women. Nothing wrong with that. You're a man, do what you want. Your money, the girls, it's, you know, fully consensual. I don't care. But you got to go back a little bit and say this is the same dude that said she loves me for that one girl he fell in love with that one time. He had to get rid of her because the brand was taking a massive beating. Now he fell in love with another chick. She came with some receipts on some ABBA and Preach interview that they did on her, yada, yada, yada. Here's basically what happened. Dude met another chick that he basically paid for in one way or the other. They hung out a bunch of times. He probably love bombed her and promised her a bunch of fake shit. She's also playing the game back, hoping he's dumb enough to actually bust in her sugar walls. Sure enough, he is actually that dumb and does it with a chick that clearly lives a lifestyle that suggests she's only in it for the money. Then premeditatedly calls him, sets him up on a call. I think that's illegal to do in Florida anyways. You can't record someone without their permission. So she could potentially get sued for that. Basically, it's the same way, you know, athletes would get trapped by these chicks that predate on them when the guys have very little experience with women and don't understand ulterior motives and have no control of their dick, apparently. This may have been one of the hotter chicks that he slept with. Consequences be damned. And from her side of the story, he was finishing that way most of the time. So this was bound to happen. Yada, yada. Listen, you guys have watched this channel long enough. I don't care if you're fans of those guys or not. I don't care what they do and what's happening with them. This is a good learning experience for men. As bad as he's looking, just remember all the times that we've seen on this channel of women lying, women setting men up, women being far more emotionally intelligent than most men, women absolutely gaining the system with fake tears, going on a media blitz, getting interviewed everywhere, creating new accounts, actively using the pregnancy to financially increase her stock. There's a lot of things that don't add up here from her side of the story. It makes it hard to believe his side of the story too, because he's a bit of a clown. He's messed up in the past. He has a history of lying as well. And he's sort of simpy when it comes to women. And he's not the best looking dude. Not only that, but he's not charismatic and a smooth talker. You know what I mean? So his side is a little hard to believe, but then this chick is a straight up 3 or 4. Like, come on, bro. If you can't see that, if you can't see that she's using him and was using him the entire time and is now cashing in on the fame and was just praying, like, I don't know how good of a manipulator she is. And, all the sweet nothings she's whispering in this dude's ear and having him saying some crazy shit back because he thinks this might be the one, or who knows what's happening. But the issue is simply this. He's far too reckless. He's far too trusting of these street queens. He gets taken advantage of by these women. This is the second one now that has made him look like a fool. This one is almost about to cash out on a baby. Don't know if it's going to happen or not. And he's not living the authentic life that he's preaching in any way. Whether you think these guys are degenerates and what they're preaching is degeneracy anyways, at least have your thoughts congruent with your actions. That's it. If you tell dudes to wrap it up, if you tell dudes to be careful to not trust any woman, if you tell dudes that there's a lot of street queens out here these days masquerading as good girls, if you're saying all these things, then why you yourself in your private life are being absolutely manhandled by a woman and getting played to look like a fool, straight up like a fiddle. And now your private life is on blast. And now she's coming in with the DMs, with all the text messages, with the little cute videos you guys would take in the car. Has nobody learned that in the world we live in today, all it takes is a woman's word to send you to jail? All it takes is a woman's word to completely wreck your reputation and your business as a man. Have we not learned today in the world that we live in that there are women out there who target famous men? Hello, Andrew Tate, and then use your fame against you. Do you not know that women weaponize tears? Have you not been paying attention? Hell, you could get anonymously accused the way Russell Brand did decades ago with some cases where there was never even police investigations, just a smear campaign over on the internet, dude. Just a couple headlines on mainstream media. And that's it. In the public eye, you are guilty. They'll take your money away. They'll take your banking away. They'll take everything away from you. Why make this shit easier on everybody? If you're a man and that fresh and fit dude, what's his name again? Walter. If you're Walter, right, and you're currently going through this, why do you leave openings like this from these kinds of women? Your life should be locked down super tight. You hang around guys like Andrew Tate, bro. He's writing the rule book on what's happening and what you need to do as it's going on with him. These chicks need to be signing NDAs. These chicks need to be verified with security at all times. You need to have cameras on you at all times. In your place at all times. They need to sign their rights saying it's okay to be recorded, and you understand that they're getting recorded everywhere within your house at all times. You should probably have one security guard with you at all times that could corroborate a story on top of the video evidence. You're a man in a position that's probably earning millions of dollars, has a ton of public exposure, and this will not be the last chick that will try to take advantage of you. This is just the beginning. If you keep moving sloppily like this, the next one won't be a baby trap. The next one will be prison time. The next one will take you to court for God knows what accusations, and you're going to lose millions of dollars fighting a case that will destroy your name in public, your family's last name, bring shame upon everybody who knows you. You have given everybody too much ammunition to use against you already, so accusations like this could be lobbied easily and believed by the general public, and you will be guilty by default, fighting to prove your innocence. These men need to learn about hanging out with Instagram thoughts, professional workers like this, and just all in all these wild kind of girls that I understand. I understand they're really fun. I understand they bring a little zest to your life, put a pep in your step, make you feel good, make you feel like a man. I understand the allure of these kinds of women, but these kinds of women today will be the end of you, the destruction of everything you've ever built. Pray to Jesus you don't end up in a cell. You know, the high standards that they have today on us, you should apply to them too. No tattoos, no working in these kinds of jobs, no suggestive Instagram that says you live this kind of lifestyle. You need to be vetting these women for positive qualities. Your life depends on it. Or keep having fun. Put your hand near the flame, deal with chicks like this, get set up until you run into one smart enough to really make charges stick, and that's your ass. This one's a bit of a bozo. And even she's managing to do real damage. What's going to come of this? Who knows? Who gives a shit? It's just a learning lesson for men. Hope the dude gets out of it and he doesn't suffer too much. Hope she doesn't try to bring that kid into the world in the most dysfunctional relationship ever. That's not going to work out. Already being used as a pawn for fame and money. I don't know. Takes two to tango, so they're both at fault. But we always put the onus on the man. He should have known better. That's it. If you guys enjoy this one, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you're feeling a bit lost in life, need some direction or a kick in the ass, something motivation or something deeper, self-improvement stuff, click on those 2 videos there that just popped up. And we'll see you on the next one.